What's going on YouTube? Smaldor here, and this is going to be my thoughts and spoiler-free review of Black Myth Wukong. Just finished up the game today. Took me about, well, around 45-ish hours to complete, or for me personally, took me about 7 days to beat the game. This game is fantastic. I think this is a great game. Just for a quick upfront for anybody who doesn't really want to hear anything else, but just wants a quick review score, I think this game is a solid 8 out of 10. Quite honestly, around the same score ranking that I would have given Lies of P, or I think that might have been around what I gave Lies of P last year. About the same. They have different strengths. I think Lies of P is definitely stronger in some aspects, whereas Black Myth Wukong is stronger in other aspects. But the difference is Lies of P is a true Souls-like, if you want to categorize the games like that. I'm personally trying to get away from that kind of categorization, but it does make things easy for people to kind of digest, be like, oh, it's similar in this regard. Okay, so that's why genres exist. I personally, for the most part, was not considering Black Myth Wukong a Souls-like. It has some similarities, but so do all 3D third-person action games with RPG elements, because that's exactly what the Souls games are, right? But it does have other things as well that's kind of only in the Souls games, such as stamina bar. Very punishing bosses. It has, I don't want to say the world is interconnected, but the levels, so Wukong is broken up into chapters. And each chapter is basically an interconnected, woven world, so to speak, some more akin to, like, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, etc. And there's, like a bonfire in this game. They're the shrines kind of thing. But this game also has a lot of similarities with games of like the modern God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, as well as, I don't hear a lot of people say this, but for me, it's got a lot of similarities to Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, and Survivor. Like the skill trees and everything like that. This game's got multiple skill trees, and you just get stronger and stronger. This game does not have punishing death, though, like Souls games. It's very fast-paced, action-y, but it is dodge-focused rather than parry and blocking and things like that. There are things you can do, of course. You get a lot of tools in your kit here to be able to play a wide variety of play styles. So what's great and what's not great about Black Myth Wukong? I'm going to talk about the negatives first, because for me, I think there's not as many. Performance can be a little hitchy in certain areas. I don't have the greatest computer, but it's also not terrible either. I was playing on everything pretty much on high settings with the DLSS on. Or actually, no, that's not true. I had FSR on with frame generation. I was getting around 90 to 100 FPS for the most part, pretty much across the board. But every now and then there would be some hitching and some hiccups here and there. But yeah, for the most part, it was okay. In terms of the performance, when it came to the combat, I almost never had any issues with that. But okay, complaints, things that kind of like knock this down from being not higher than an 8 out of 10 for me. This game does not have input queuing when it comes to putting in your commands. So the game is very fast-paced, right? So if you're having to dodge an enemy that's doing, 5-6 hit combos, you're spamming the dodge, right? So, okay, that's the only thing you're inputting. So you're dodging when you're dodging, but let's say you get hit in one of those combos. Now you need to heal. You're trying to dodge, but you also know you need to heal. You can't heal. Technically, you cannot heal until your full animation is completed of the dodge. Then you can heal. Then once your heal is completed, then you can dodge again. Same goes with the attacks and all of that. That's something that through my entire 45-ish hours of playthrough, I kind of never really got used to it. I definitely got better at being able to just kind of like subconsciously know, okay, I can heal now. I can't heal at this moment. I can heal, now is when I attack. I need to let the animation finish, things like that. Got used to it over time, but it was one of the things that I struggled with greatly in the beginning. You watch my playthrough, you will see, definitely see that struggle. That was definitely something for me. The other thing too, this is not related to that, but another negative for me, I honestly don't really know the story of Journey to the West, right? I know there are a lot of things that are based on it loosely, but it's a very well-known story from China and the East and things like that, but I don't really know the story. By not knowing that story, really, I tried my best to pay attention very, very hard to the story. I feel like I only got like 70%. A lot of times I'm like, huh? What? I don't understand. What's going on? Who are you? Why do you seem very important, but your name is just like two like verbs or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what? I don't know if any of that was translation problems or if the game really just does kind of like assume the player knows the story already. But for me, as someone who doesn't know the story, that was a little. Thankfully, this game doesn't really shine. That's not the shining point of the game. It's obviously the gameplay and the world, seeing the world, the visuals, and things like that. I'm trying to think if there was really any other negatives that I'd had. There might have been a couple smaller things that, like, really minor things. But for the most part, yeah, this game's fantastic. The combat is king. And yes, I just complained about the lack of input queuing. But the combat is still king. It is fluid, it is smooth, and there are so many different ways you can play your game. So, yep, you have a staff, but there's tons of skilled stuff that you can learn, and you can play the character different ways. There's gear in the game, so it's very RPG in that regard. There's gear sets. You can customize the way your characters play. There is so many things you can do to change how you want to play the game, and I did that a few times. And a great plus, other games do this too, but not many do. You can respec all your skill points whenever you want for free. Yes. That is like something that I think in any single player game, all single player games should be, if it has a skills system, of points and things like that. If it does that, you should be able to do that for free at any time, more or less. Maybe not like, maybe if the game uses a hub or something like that, okay, maybe do it there, or, you can only do it there, etc. Which is actually kind of how it is in this game. You can't literally just do it like in the middle of wherever you're at. You have to do it at the shrines, the bonfires, or whatever. That's where you do it. But it's free. And you can do it as many times as you want. Visually, this game is phenomenal, right? I mean, if you guys are watching this, maybe you've seen the trailers, if you watch other content creators and things like that, the game visually looks insane. And no one's videos or streams are going to do justice if you play it yourself. This game looks phenomenal. It is arguably one of the best games visually I have ever seen. And that's going up against things like Horizon Forbidden West, which, say whatever you want about the game as a whole. Visually, that game is phenomenal as well. It's just crazy. The lighting, the amount of things that are on the screen, the particle effects, and it's still looking... That quality is insane. Yeah, the music in the game is serviceable. It's not terrible. I don't think any of it's really that memorable either. I played the game fully in English. Aside from one or two characters, I thought the voice acting was pretty good, actually. It didn't really feel off-putting in any way. But, yeah. So, in short, basically, if you like games like Modern God of War, Jedi Fallen Order, Survivor, I would say if you do like, you know, maybe like Bloodborne, you know, maybe even the Dark Souls games, things like that, you know, but I think it's different enough from that. If you like Neo, if you like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, if you like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, these kind of games, maybe not Bayonetta is a little far off, but give this game a shot. You know, it's one of those games you want to give it a shot. I know the game is a full price game. Maybe wait till it goes on the sale or something like that if you're still on the fence. But like I said, a solid 8 out of 10 is where I would put this. And again, I am playing this on PC, so I have no idea how the PS5 version runs. If you've played the PS5 version, let me know how that game performs down below, what you think from that version. And yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for watching my thoughts and spoiler-free review, mostly, more or less, of Black Myth Wukong. Again, 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the game, don't like the game, why not? If you like my video, please like, subscribe. That always helps. Thank you guys so much, and I will be back for the next video.